Hello Aquarius, welcome to my YouTube channel, kia ora koutou katoa, to all of you and whoever else is watching. So you may be watching, if this Aquarius, it may be not, you may be a cross watcher, or it may be, one of your other signs that you, under one of your other signs that you don't necessarily usually watch. So welcome to my YouTube channel. So anyway, so let me see. I usually always start off with saying thank you to everybody who has subscribed to my YouTube channel, and also to those of you who have come across this video on Facebook as well. So, and I invite you to I like or follow my my page and also the YouTube channel, because I have different content, obviously, because they're different platforms for, slightly different reasons and different ways of doing things and that, but similar. So anyway, and anyway, on Facebook I will be, putting a lot of what I'm going to be getting up to with this sort of work in the near future, and also the distant future as well, and posting of other things as, other information and bits and pieces as well. So anyway, the other thing is I just want to remind everybody that these reads general, so the messages may or may not resonate with you fully. If it does, then amazing, wonderful. If it doesn't, don't totally throw it out the window, because it could be more of a forecast for you right now. So, and which is why you're only understanding or resonating with it's bits and pieces of it. So for some of you, it may not be like wow, it may be like right out the window for you at the moment. So, but like I say, don't throw it right out, because it could be something that may more come to view or come to light by the end of the, end of the week for you. Okay. So, the other thing is that these videos, are suitable for, those of you who are Aquarius, and Aquarius could be in your sun, moon, rising, and or Venus signs. So, which is what I was talking about earlier in the beginning. There is some of you maybe, like for instance, I am a Gemini, and I do follow Gemini is under my sun sign, so, and that's what I predominantly follow. Others follow, different, other signs. And so, for instance, my other signs that I do follow and that I'm linked to energetically on my birth chart, my astrology birth chart, is Cancer, Pisces, and Libra. So I will, from time to time, not all the time, but depending on how I'm feeling, if I feel like I need to know a little bit more information or get a more a rounded overview of something. So, or, a situation that might be coming up, or it's like, whatever, and just seeing what might be coming up. So, also we'll check out my other signs, okay? So, and the other thing is, if you don't know what your signs are, there is a link in the description box below that will take you to a video that has a website that has a link, that has a calculator. It's free, and it will work it out for you. So it'll give you a really good indication of what the other signs are, and then you can have a read about them and how it applies to you. And it's kind of interesting, really. And the thing is, I do want to let you know, don't freak out if you don't know what your birth time is, because there is a box in there. I think they actually write something in there that it's not imperative, but it is like helpful to get a really a closer, a lot closer indication, exact, like pinpoint. Be really specific is the word that I'm picking as I'm actually searching for them. But it's not imperative. So, so don't let that put you off. So anyway, the decks that I'm using today, and I have a beautiful new deck that I came across last week on Friday. So it's kind of been an interesting process with this one, because it's like, I don't know, I feel super really connected to it, but I'm learning and still, connecting with it in the sense that the different meanings and how they explain things is kind of how I roll anyway. So it's kind of brought another essence to the messages that are coming through and for me to bring together, which is, like I say, kind of where I'm, how I roll anyway, and where I'm going with it. Not that the other deck that's still, it's just different. And so it allows more expansion to the messages, and also reaching and explaining it in a different way as well. So that's really interesting. And I feel like that part of that message is kind of like for you, like there's an expansion of energy of you know, like searching for different information and energy that to connecting with, to find different information, to expand yourself, to expand your energy, to expand your mind and the way that you're thinking. So, and I feel like for some of you, it's kind of like you've like tootled along and then you've come across this and it's like blowing your mind or something like that. And it's like, or it's just like an epiphany, a moment. It's like, shit, you know, or you've discovered something about yourself and it's like, and it's made you like maybe created this want, or this feeling to search a bit deeper, or to, you know, research that way, or, you know, you may have seen, or something may have come to light within the family traits, and it's like, wow, I didn't realize that, you know, there was so and so and so and so and so and so from 3 generations back was a musician, and that makes sense to you because you've always maybe had an inclination to play, you know, the trombone or whatever, or the piano, or you're a musician or an artist or something like that. So it's kind of like there's something like that, and it's just welling up inside of you, and it's like there's more growth and transformation, and it's kind of like these discoveries like that, and it's bringing out something in you that you've maybe tucked away and felt like, you know, oh no, I can't do that, or, you know, oh no, that's them, that's, you know, that's not, you know, I have no inclination to go there, but actually there may be something like just simmering underneath it, so that, you know, now to bring it out, actually, you know what, I think I might just give that a shot. So it's like there's this exploration of things, and it's just going to lead to you learning about something else, and learning about this and learning about that. And it reminds me, you know, of many years ago when I started, when I really started to like explore this side of me and go a lot deeper, how it just went from one thing to another thing to another thing to another thing, and it's now that's just got this accumulation of wisdom and knowledge from my guides and what I've learned in my life experiences and how I've applied it into my life. And things that I didn't really realize meant anything actually mean a lot, and to how I can help others or explain to others to help themselves through some situation or experiences in their growth, and spiritually in this sort of realm, but also spiritually awareness, you know, in general for ourselves, you know, like that, a bit of awakening and coming in closer to learning about ourselves. It's kind of like there's a theme around there. It's of whatever it is that you know about. So you may be feeling like going into this like a teacher type role, in the sense it may not actually be teaching in a school or anything, but it may be you may be offering like workshops, or you maybe people that just come to you and you're able to offer them, you know, like an apprenticeship or something, or mentoring, or just advice, you know, which is not just advice, but advice. So there's something coming around, and it just opens you up, in which you're starting to find out more about yourself actually, and which opens up more is that actually I might go this way or this way, I'll change, you know, it's like you might be heading down one path and actually turning down another one. So there's things like that are opening up, and it might not be like you have to go like down that path right now, but it's something like, you know, it's something, okay, what do I need to do to get that, to do that, or okay, it's all in timing, and it's like blending it. So there's a divine time thing going on in there. So, and it may be that you're discovering that you know, it was something to do with a different form of exercise, is what I'm hearing as well for some of you. So, or a new business, or a job that you had not thought that you would, like, you know, would be interested in, but actually it's something that it's come to fruition now, or it's come to light. Actually, I might just apply for that one, you know. So anyway, that's the Starman deck that I've just got, and so we're using those today, and it's the main one. And then I have my Sacred Earth Oracle deck, and also the tarot deck, my trusty tarot deck. So I'm not sure how they're all going to fit in, but usually the other tarot deck will be like a clarifier or a confirmation or something like that, and the Sacred Earth will have something else to add to it. So I kind of feel like that whole explanation is like a theme for some of yous, or for a lot of you. So anyway, because I'm still like figuring out this deck, I've kind of taken the liberty to use my common sense actually, so I can get a deeper message for you and the essence of these cards, so you can get a feel of them, seeing as they're new to me, but they don't feel that new, but they feel like I really connect with them. So a new old sort of a thing. So anyway, the first card out is the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups, the theme around the Eight of Cups in this deck, which is, okay, so the explanations are still similar, but it's just written in a different way, which I really, really like I say. So the Eight of Cups in here is, you know, the theme around it and how they've put it, the creator of this deck has put it is, I seek answers to life's big questions, which is kind of what we've been talking about, what Spirit have been leading to. So it's like you're on this like vision quest, you know? So, and this is what the Eight of Cups is about. So there's a lot of, which kind of like brings up a lot of, you know, thoughts, feelings, emotions, but also out that, you know, like there's a deeper sense of intuition that's connecting with it. Because, you know, when we go on that, we start to, on this journey, we start to learn more, or even like you're probably really intuitive anyway, you know, but you just don't see it like as intuitive because it's something that you've always done, but it's actually, you have a really good intuition. You know what I mean? So, and then the creativity side, so it's, which is what we've just been talking about, which is kind of uncanny, which I wasn't really thinking I was going there, but it's like, okay, there you go. So this card, and it's like, that's what they're saying. Okay, there you go for you as well. So it's kind of, you know, like that whole thing, you never didn't think you were going to go that way, but there you go. So, and it's about relationships and emotional connection with yourself and others. So, which is pretty much the whole theme about what we've been, what we've been talking about in the beginning there. So it's like, and then we have the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords brings through the energy, you know, as, you know, of serving a noble cause, basically. I serve a noble cause. And she's willing to do what must be done. She's a very independent and formidable and principled, has a very formidable, independent and principled energy, okay? So there's this thing about, you know, taking no prisoners. So this is you, I feel like, because she's the swords, okay? So I feel like this is you, Aquarius. So you are the air sign. So it's about, some of you may have maybe gone a little bit overboard with that, you know, with that sort of energy with the Queen of Swords. And some of you maybe like have gone the other direction where it's kind of maybe you've let it flail and lapse a little bit. So it's about bringing it back into balance again. So bringing you back into balance. So whether you are a male or a female energy, this Queen of Swords, you're watching this, it's like, I feel like this is geared towards you. Because it's the air sign, so hey. But it's about getting your emotions in check and, you know, looking at life's basically big questions, basically. And even the little questions, you know, a big question can be a little question to somebody else. You know, that's where they're coming from with that. So then we have the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles in this deck is, you know, talks about having the influence and power. So I have the influence and power. So, you know, it's about okay, so where am I up to? Okay, and knowing that you are the resource and you have the resources and you are the idea, you have the resources and ideas, okay? And going out there with a huge confidence and ability to leverage what you want. Okay, that's what this card is about, and this is the energy that it brings you. So there's that sense of manifestation. It's about, okay, getting up, pulling yourself together, you know, sorting this out, sorting that out, and it's not even really like sorting. I'm using that word, or they're using that word because it's kind of like that's the general root of what we do or the action that we take. So it's about, you know, pulling everything together and, you know, and getting ready and it's pulling yourself together basically is where they're trying to go, where they're going with that. And what they're trying to say is like, and you may be having a little bit of difficulty or finding it a challenge at the moment, or, you know, to like find that balance basically. And, you know, Okay, for the lack of a better phrase, get your shit together. And that's good shit on saying that, okay? So it's kind of, and having a bit of a giggle, because I feel like sometimes we could get a bit serious. We can get a bit serious with stuff, and it's like, okay, like, so bringing in, not, you know, it's not making fun of it or making light of it. It's just like having some joy and some fun, and seeing the, you know, like switching the energy around, because, and you know, sometimes when we get in those funny states, we can get a bit serious. We forget actually to, you know, to chill out a bit and not to be so pedantic about things. So, and then, which is interesting, so this is about you going into your power, stepping into this power, this energy, knowing that actually you have the resources and the ideas and the ability to pull this together, and no matter what, okay, within you and without of you. So it's, sometimes I feel like what I'm hearing is like, we just got to ask as well. So it's about asking people for help as well, and not feeling like you're on your own and you have to do it all on your own. And sometimes there are aspects of it that, yes, we have to do some things on our own, or we get to an area where we may have been a little bit lapsed and reliant on other people or other, you know, to come in and help, where actually maybe, like I say, there's that some of you may have got a little bit lapsed in it. Now you've been forced to do something on your own because it's a learning in there and you have to. So then the next card that comes in, it's kind of interesting how this is flowing, is the Ace of Swords. So, and the Ace of Swords is about, I live through my highest values. So, and basically, for you, there's a new way or a different way of thinking, or being, or taking action. And, you know, with this, it's about, you know, having the power of the mind to cut away what is irrelevant, basically, or irrelevant. I'll get to like irrelevant, I said, but I'm going to say irrelevant. What is irrelevant, and pronounce it correctly. So there's something even about that, is like making sure that you're choosing the best possible word and you're saying it correctly, because it could mean something else. So it's like, and maybe you've been a little bit, you know, we can get a bit lazy sometimes with using, you know, words and not understanding actually what we're really saying. So I feel like there's about making things clearer so people understand what you're actually saying. So, and sometimes we have to be mindful of our own vocabulary system that we have to, you know, to explain or get the best. And so therefore they're talking about that it becomes something that we're needing to, or you're needing. Sorry, I talk about as though when I'm talking, so when I say we, it's like, or we're, it's like, because I'm an empath, I take on that energy of whatever sign when I'm talking about. So when I say we, I mean Aquarius, okay? So it's like, yeah, it's working to your highest values, and that will help you get that. It's bringing you back to that space, okay? And that's you, because sometimes, like those, like I say, there's that going off the rails, we're going more, it's like we're a pendulum, and, you know, we're going this way, we're going that way, but it's about finding that balance now. So you may have gone too far over there or too far over that way, and sometimes, you know, we're swinging between both at times, but it's like, it's like finding that balance, so we're not swinging too far and we're just walking forward. And at times life will swing us a little bit like that, so we can be a little bit like that at times. So, and there's no, and that's life, isn't it, really? So the Ace of Swords, so this is about taking basically control of your thoughts, and there's a new, and it's like there's a new way of the way that you're thinking and doing things now because of the way that you're thinking now. This, like you've figured out what it is that serves you no purpose for your highest good, especially in the way that you're thinking. So it's like, and you've just, and it is about, you know, cutting away everything that, or anything that is irrelevant to your highest values, basically. Okay, so cool. Then on the next row, and the next card is the moon. Now the moon is, you know, there's a lot of energy with the moon, and there's a lot of influence there with the energy, but I feel like there's a lot of mysterious, a lot of magicalness that I feel like that's coming through for you with the moon. And it's like what she's trying to tell you. And I actually haven't written down what that is for some reason. So I'm just going to go through the book, because I feel like it's really beautiful how they've, you know, what they've written and how they've written in here, what each sign is about. So I'm just going to hold that. So sorry, it's a little bit shaky. and my hand is moving a little bit around. So the moon, okay, so this is where the theme of the moon comes from, this one. How will they speak it? I perceive the truth through the inner veil and its reflection. So the symbolic wisdom and mysterious intelligence surfacing in dreams, meditative creations and imaginings wants to be acknowledged and integrated. Memory traces long forgotten rise to be purified, unlocking your fears and projections. So that's what it's called. That's what they mean about the reflection. So sometimes things, like when you think about the moon and you look at it, and especially in the water and even at the sky, it reflects, you know, especially in water, which is the picture that they've got here, is, you know, it reflects back to us what it is we see in ourselves. And so there's this exploratory energy, which is what they're talking about here, and that the moon brings, and it does have influences on our energy levels, so which helps us to, which brings it out so we can figure out what is actually going on a little bit deeper, to bring out of us what our core values are, basically. And, you know, it's not that to say that you don't really know them, or we don't really know them, but it's sometimes we tend to tuck them away, and we run away with other bits and other ways and things of doing, and and it's like this is bringing you back to what it is that you really want from it. Core value, but heartfelt, heart space as well, and honoring yourself, okay? And then we have the Two of Swords, which follows on after that, and the Two of Swords is trusting, you know, trusting yourself, that you are able to, you know, it's like the Two of Swords is about being of two minds, basically. And this is about trusting your ability to find your way. So it's about, you know, there's something, maybe feeling a little bit indecisive about something. So, and it's maybe you've just like thrown your arms up and out, and you've put the blinkers on because you don't want to, like, you know, see this or that. But where am I saying, like, because it's like there's a blindfold there as well, and you're not quite seeing what it is that you want to see or need to see. So it's kind of like it's thrown you in this place of indecision. And so they're talking, this is why they're talking, is I trust my ability to find my way. So, and you may be under pressure to make a decision or a choice. And so this is also about, you know, not rushing necessarily the choice, not feeling like you have to rush to make a decision, because sometimes it's not that simple. And sometimes it is that simple. So this is about you really, that's why they're talking about this card here is, you know, Aquarius is, you know, not feeling the pressure to make a choice, you know, and trusting your instincts and inner wisdom to make the choice as well. So having the, you know, ability, you know, you've got the ability and trusting in that. So this is, you know, obviously you moving along. And then the Five of Cups, you know, because it's that thing like we've talked about before, is not letting our emotions get in the way. So I am inconsolable. So the great river of tears and swept away by grief or despair or unhappiness about something. And it's like, but not letting those emotions, you know, get in the way of us, you know, making a knee-jerk decision is the way they're putting it. I was going to say impulsive, but that too, decision. And because going back to that, for those of you who have something really emotional that's going on, so it's not feeling pressured, and it's like sometimes we need to say to some people, or, you know, ourselves even, is, you know what, no pressure, just wait, it doesn't feel quite right. And otherwise you're just going to super upset yourself even more, because you're feeling rushed and pressured, and then into making a decision that you know you're not ready to make right now because of that. So it's like the wheel. Then we have the wheel of life with the last card out in here. So it's like, and the wheel of fortune, or the wheel of life, is I understand there is a time and a season for everything. So, you know, and that's, you know, the wheel of life basically. And the wheel of fortune is the same thing. It's, you know, we go through cycles in life, and we're either going to be up or down, or, you know, we're going to be up, you know, with high energy, or lots of abundance and prosperity around us, and then it goes around, and then something, you know, there are changes, something happens, and we learn something about ourselves in there, and it maybe not so great, but, you know, the wheel of life, it still goes around. And so we may be brought to our knees at some parts and stages of our lives, and where we have, you know, things going on, and it's kind of like, and we have, you know, like literally have been brought to our knees, and we work through that, and then we pick ourselves up, and we find that resilience within ourselves, you know, keeps going, that courage and that strength, you know, to continue on, and we start to, as we're learning with that, and we lift ourselves up, and we go around the next cycle, come around, and sometimes we're more here longer than, you know, or with a higher vibration, and things are, and we start to go around there, but we can bring ourselves full circle again, you know. So it's kind of like, I feel like, you know, many of you out there will know that, you know, you will know what they're talking about. So it's like, okay, I understand there is a time and a season for everything. And like the seasons, our lives are in constant evolution, basically. And sometimes, you know, and they change, things change, and we might go around that loop again, and it's not the same as the other loop, because we've changed since that loop, or that round, you could say, and because we now know better, or we now know more, we now have more wisdom or knowledge or whatever, and it brings a new challenge. But it's like, okay, I've got the tools, I have the knowledge, I have the wisdom, and to help me get through that. So some of you may be going through something, so whatever it is, I say something, I thought, well, that was, you know, obvious, but it's like we'll be going through something in some way, form, where there's some great change and amazing. See, look, we have the Queen of Swords again. She's come out again as so she's very prominent in your life. You're very prominent in your life. It's like I say, in the Queen of Swords is here, is that she's suffering with dignity and resignation is in the theme on this one. But it's like knowing that, you know, the same thing as I serve a noble cause, and she's willing to do whatever it takes to be done. Independent, formidable, principled, you know, it takes no prisoners. It's like she's made her mind up now. I'm going to do this. I'm going to, you know, I am who I am, and it's standing in her own energy and her own power, basically. And asserting your power. And of course, with love, peace, harmony, joy, excitement, and prosperity and abundance. So with all these life challenges. So that's pretty cool. So they're just wanting to reconfirm that's you. It's all there. And, you know, even though there's stuff going on, it's kind of like using that to your power. And it's like, okay, then we have the Four of Pentacles, holding on too tightly. So there's something about, maybe you are holding on a bit too tightly to something, like energetically, something, someone around you. So it's time to release it. So you can see what the other possibilities are, like of more abundance, more prosperity, more knowledge, more wisdom, more information is what I'm hearing as well, to help you to understand what's going on, so you can go to take the next step or the next level or whatever it is. But it's like, you know, and I'm hearing like cutting through the bullshit, because they're bringing me back to that Ace of Wands again. It's like, you know, not allowing yourself to be, you know, stuck in things that are irrelevant. The Three of Swords here talks about tension release, so allowing that to release it, basically. They're bringing that through to help you relieve that. And you may go into this funny little, you know, feeling of loss of wealth or faith with the Five of Pentacles. But that's kind of like an energetic thing as well. So there's maybe a challenge that's around you where you're thinking that way, and it's like, oh my gosh. But if you keep thinking that way, once again, that Ace of Swords is coming through to, you know, switch what your mind is thinking. It's also about, you know, there's that, you know, that getting your head out of it from that way of, you know, the value of money. And, you know, it's like, it's okay, it's not really, okay, where they're going with that, you know, getting your head around that, the value of money. So it's kind of like with that wheel of fortune here, or the wheel of life. There's a cycle that's going around, but it's kind of like, I feel like it's, some of you may be taking yourself, may have been in that cycle or stuck in that cycle because you've been holding on too tightly to old value systems, old ways of thinking, and, you know, of the past and things. So it's about releasing that and, you know, going into your power. Then we have the Eight of Wands, which is, you know, excitement. So, and action. So he's put out your dreams, your thoughts, your feelings, and everything like that, that are positive. And, you know, putting that energy of what it is that you want to be, do, have, and give in your life. And then go out and get it, because it's like you're putting it out there. It's putting it out there, but and taking action and moving towards it to achieve it. So there's that sort of energy in there as well. So with the Eight of Wands, and I just want to, yeah. So all these cards have been shuffled, by the way, really well before I've done it. So stretch. So they're talking about stretching your mind, stretching your body, stretching, you know, your enthusiasm, stretching your positivity out there. That sort of energy there. It's stretching, you know, I'm hearing mind, your thoughts outside of the, you know, the box, and thinking outside of the box. It's like, don't keep it too contained, because it's like that Queen of Swords energy there is bringing you that, her energy to help you to move, letting you know, and encouraging you, you know, to bring out what is within, in the sense of, you know, asserting your power, and communicating your ideas, whether it's to yourself. Some of them you may need to keep to yourself. Others is about explaining it, but not giving too much information. But it's like, but communicating your ideas to, and making decisions and things like that, because otherwise you're going to be stuck. Because I feel like that part of it is that stuckness there, and this holding on too tight is because you're not making a decision for some of you. So it's about like stepping out of it, because if you don't, you're going to be stuck there as well. Okay, thinking that way, feeling that way, and it's like that leap of faith. The sort of thing. It's taking one step, or, you know, 2 steps, 3 steps to move out of that gradually. Okay, some of you will be quicker than others. Some of you will be like, okay, make my mind up, let's go, everything's in place, or get everything in place, take it, boom. And it's amazing what doors start to open, okay, when we do that. Anyway, I'm going to leave that with you, Aquarius. My guides and my spiritual team, and the amazing Zion energy, and the amazing energy of Aquarius. We leave you with lots of love, peace, harmony, and joy, excitement, adventure, and and prosperity and abundance. Okay, bye for now. We'll see you next Thursday. I know this is Friday when I've put it out, but I've kind of got a bit behind. But we'll see you next Thursday. Bye for now.